Did you feel you were able to support some of your peers that didn't have the same background and were going through the same thing
Quite
at the same
honestly,
time?
like when I first joined the ward, there was Toihi, and then there was no one else around my age. The rest of the ward was like 65 plus.
That's most of my patients.
Yeah.
That's why there's not very many people your age.
Yeah,
get
so
this.
I mean, very grateful. She was my neighbour, and yeah, so that was really cool. But I think everyone's journey is just so different, and for me, that was really beneficial in mine because I could kind of work through things because I did have a pretty like rough journey. Still, you know,
Oh, I remember.
a little bit rocky at the start. But yeah, I think for me, having that background already as a radiographer, I could kind of understand the body a little bit, and so I had a little bit more trust than, I don't know, someone that, you know, hasn't been to the doctor in like 6 years and, you know, or like mum's rung up and made the appointments for you and you're like, oh, I don't even know what like my like what's this blood word, and you're like, oh, I don't even know that. So for me it was familiar, but I think that helped.
Well, because you'd like similar interests with your role,
Yes,
right? So you
yeah.
like
So
find
I
it
could kind of
engaging,
like connect the dots a little bit. But like for my family, like my mum didn't even know what a stoma bag was when I had to get a stoma, and she was like, you know, I've never even heard of this word before. Like, what do I do? Like, who do I ask? And you know, she's in the room with me getting all these medical terminologies, and I'm kind of like nodding my head like, yeah, I can tick that off. But I look around and everyone's like lost, like all these big words and everything like that.
Oh, I feel you. Like, those resources went right over my head.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we obviously screwed up a bit there.
Yeah, this is cool.
No, but like as a doctor, you have to like, you know, say it medically, and you have to say, you know, that's how you say it. And it's just like when they leave the room, you've got to like digest that, and you're like,
get someone to come and translate.
Yeah.
I know, it's like we spend years and years at medical school learning the terminology so that we can speak to each other in code. But no, it's not. It's just so we can communicate properly with each other. And then you become a doctor, and then there's a real patient in front of you, and you've got to be able to translate back into something that's understandable. But you still, you've noticed that most of the patients in the ward are much older, and they'll have more experience of either being in hospital or knowing people that have been in hospital. Cancer is not, it's not a foreign word. It's something that they'll know lots of people that have gone through that, and it means something. But I was thinking back to when I was between 12 and 24, which is this age group. At what point did I actually know anything about any of it? I mean, I'd heard the words, but they meant nothing to me really most of the way through. Even when I was going through medical school, one of my friends got a horrible rare cancer. Nothing you didn't get, different one. Okay, that didn't go well. But I didn't really get it. I had no idea what it meant in terms of the journey that she was going to take through the health system, and the sort of things that could go wrong, and what actually the nuts and bolts of it. I had no idea. I knew a bit of the theory because we both studied together. We'd studied pathology, so we knew the names of the diseases, and we knew what they looked like under our microscope, but we didn't really know what it meant for. We might even have known, I don't know, figures for prognosis and things like that. How bad is it? But no idea what it actually meant. And I was. The other thing is, everyone else's life just carries on, especially if you're at university or something like that. Everyone else just keeps going, and you have to take time out to be sick while you're treated, and that's horrible. I had no idea that that's the sort of thing she was going through. I went away on my elective to study abroad, and then I came, but she died when I came back. And I had absolutely no idea what any of it meant beforehand. And it's, it's. So the point there, really, apart from getting emotional about my friend, the point there really is that even with a lot of background knowledge and studying the subject matter, still didn't know really what it meant at all. And it's because I was that age. Because none of my friends had gone through it. I'd just not experienced it even second
you
hand.
see it for other people. Like in my training, I was, I could see it, but then I couldn't picture that for myself.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is all going to happen to me. Like, this is crazy. I don't know how. Yeah.
I think it's that sort of lived experience where until you've lived through it, you don't know, you can't even like really grasp what that means or what that is going to look like. And I would say, even for Sean and I, who have walked many journeys along with you guys and other people and stuff, I still haven't done it myself. So I still am very aware that, I've only got so much knowledge, and it's not the real knowledge that you guys have.
No, it's all second-hand experience. But my problem now in terms of medical jargon is I'll make assumptions because most of my patients are older and they do have that experience or second-hand or lived experience, and I can say words like cancer and know what sort of emotional response it will get and know that they understand what it means. And then you have to say, well, okay, and there's cancer and some of them aren't so bad, and you can start the conversation from there quite reliably. But that wouldn't be the case for me if I'd been diagnosed at the age of 18 or 19. I wouldn't have known what it really meant for me, and I wouldn't have known what chemotherapy entailed. Again, I can say chemotherapy to older patients, and they've all got an idea of what they think it means.